Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a video, just like the title says, on sensory processing disorder. Also, it goes by SPD. Again, I am not an occupational therapist. I am not a doctor. All I am is a mother of a child who goes through this. So I just thought that this would be a cool outlet in my channel to kind of discuss some things, talk about some things, and you know, give my view on some of the things. And if you guys have any questions, to let me know. I would love to also start doing more sensory things. I love to do a lot of the recipes and like make like homemade like Play-Doh and moon sand and like water play. So, you know, I would love to kind of unfold this world for this channel. So I thought that this would be a great video to kind of like start it out. So let's start out with like, what is SPD? So SPD is sensory processing disorder. So what does that mean? So my son is 3.5 now. We found out about when he was 18 months, so about 1.5 years old. Sensory processing disorder, there's two sides to it. So there is a sensory seeker and there is a sensory avoider. So a sensory seeker is somebody who needs a lot of input. So they're very textile. They might like loud noises and stuff of that nature. And then a sensory seeker is somebody that, you know, might be a little bit more reserved and might need like a little bit more quiet and dark lights and all of that stuff. So it almost, in a sense, it's not this at all, but similar. It's like extrovert versus introvert, okay? So somebody who's like, wah, and then somebody who's a little, okay? And just because the sensory seeker is a seeker and a sensory avoider is an avoider doesn't mean that there might be times where each of them, based on their sensory diet, is kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum also. So just like if you want to lose weight, you don't just one day like starve yourself and lose weight. Sensory diet and a sensory input is just the same. So a lot of times with meltdowns, or, you know, if you have a kid who is having a lot of like problems, and I don't know about your situation, I can only speak to ours, is a lot of times it's something that like they're not getting enough input. So I kind of always say like a sensory play a day keeps the tantrums away. So that's like my saying to myself. So that's that. How did we find out that our son had sensory processing disorder? So how we found out that our son had sensory processing disorder is he, at 18 months, so at 6 months, we were doing elimination consumption, which basically means that every day we would put him on the toilet in the morning and he would go poop on the toilet. We started this at 6 months when he started solids. I know it sounds crazy. Looking back, it probably was sensory things even then, but as soon as we started solids, when he would have to go to the bathroom, he would cry and be immensely upset. And so we would take him to the changing table and we would go to take his diaper off, and he would use the restroom. So my thought process after doing research was, if he's already upset, let's just go ahead and put him on the toilet, because he would be upset by the mess. Worked great. He would go on the toilet and he was very happy by that. He didn't have to use the restroom in his diaper, and it was helpful to everybody. So around 1.5 years, all of a sudden something changed. Anytime I would take him into the bathroom, he would get so upset, like extremely upset. And I'm not just talking like a little meltdown, like I'm talking like unconsolable, very, like you could just tell that he was almost like in a panic. And my aunt, who has had 4 babies, and her son has autism, like she's my go-to person. So I called her and I'm like, hey, like let me bounce this off. And she was like, you know, transitioning is definitely something that you want to think about. Like, you should look into early intervention and early steps. Like, it's a great program, and they'll come out to your house and they'll check it out. And I'm like, you know, yes, like, what's the harm? So I called, and the other thing, so that was the first thing, and the other thing was at school he had started to bite, and like, not bite out of like anger or aggression, like just bite. And like the root cause of it was very hard to understand what was causing the biting. So those were the two things that we were like, light bulb, okay. So we called Early Steps, and again, I live in Florida, so I don't know how all the other states are. They came to the house. He tests like off the charts with everything, so he's a very bright child, but his sensory profile was all over the place. So that did qualify him for occupational therapy. So from the time he was 1.5 years to the time he was 3, we participated in occupational therapy, and he did very well with that. So for the first 6 months, we did every week. And then after that, for about 1 year, we did every other week. And the occupational therapist would just observe my son and I's interaction. She would observe his interactions at school, and she would just give feedback. She was a coach, and it was a great experience because honestly, a lot of this, was more, I feel like, hard on me as a parent on how can I help? How can I assist? How can I understand what my child is going through, and how can I be the best parent I can be, and how can I not get overwhelmed or anxious or stressed, or like, you know, when your child's upset and inconsolable, it's very hard, or I shouldn't say for anybody else, but it's very hard on me because I want to provide and protect and love and nourish and create an environment for my child to flourish. I personally believe that that's what all parents are trying to do. But when you can't connect on the right level with your child, that sometimes can put like a roadblock up. So occupational therapy helped with that. It helped like knock down the roadblock, and it helped, you know, she would spend a lot of time with us, so she would see like when I would start like shutting down and being like I don't know what to do, and she then could help me and see it from an outsider's point of view. So not only did it help Emmett, but it also helped me parent him better. So occupational therapy was wonderful. We actually graduated from that program when he was 3. I looked into other resources because I honestly was a little scared, like how am I going to do this on my own, you know? How am I going to have somebody that can go to school and observe and coach the teachers too? Like, oh, it was very overwhelming. But when he graduated from the program, his scores for everything are like high. The only thing that he's like just slightly above normal is communication. And his sensory profile used to be like this, and now it's like this. Like, he's very much like a sensory seeker. So like it does like this number instead of being all over the place, but he's learned how to regulate enough that it's helped. So he's not all over the place with that. So with that, we didn't qualify for anything else, which is a-okay. Now it was a struggle for me to like deal with, not deal with, I don't think that that's the right word, but to experience. So we, anyways, so that's where we at. So what is sensory processing disorder? How did we find out? Where are we at in our journey? So now where we're at in our journey is we just kind of literally on a daily basis just practice and do things that help keep him full. Do you want to say hello? Can you say, hey guys? Ooh, the lighting's all crazy now because you got so close. So. Are you kissing it? Can I have a kiss? Nope. Oh, don't do that, Bubba. All right, so anyways, to wrap up this video. What is that?
The bad guy.
It's not a bad guy, it's a candle. It smells very good. Be very careful, that's very heavy and very big.
Help, Mommy.
Help. Oh. What is that noise?
Yeah, my TV.
Oh, you're watching TV?
Yeah.
Okay. So to kind of wrap this video up, the biggest things that we've gone through and that have helped us is that his communication, it's definitely helped signing. So we started signing with him when he was a baby before we even knew about this, and he started signing at about 9 months old. And he still signs a lot. So he does talk a lot, but talking didn't really start till about 3. But his communication was still like at a 5-year-old's level with his sign language. So, you know, that's kind of where we're at. He still is a seeker and will still sometimes bite. We have noticed the biting rise back up. He's recently had a new teacher pop up in his life, which is part of life. So we've seen more biting lately. But we also have, sorry that the video, there we go. I think that's a little bit better. So we've noticed some biting pop up again. That's another thing that we deal with a lot. And then, I don't know how to word the third one, but he like gets frustrated or like angers quickly. Like he has a hard time understanding, like kind of processing something. So that's another way that the sensory seeker like really affects us, is that he, like if something hits him, it hits him real hard real quick. So we've been working on that lately too, with like patience. And yeah, those are the 3 things that I feel like the SPD has really, like the 3 biggest differences, I would say. But he has his own little language. He has been talking a lot more. He has been biting a lot less. And we have good weeks and we have bad weeks, but like this week has been a very great week. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you have any questions, I would love to hear them down in the comments. And then if you would like me to make any other videos, if you have any requests, I would love to hear them. Just some real quick ideas that I have is kind of like, I would love to show you guys some of like our sensory recipes. We have a couple that are like our go-tos, some sensory play that we do, and just kind of show you guys a little bit of like what our sensory diet looks like here. So that is that. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for tricks and tips too, because there's like little hacks that we do that have big payoffs. So yeah, that's what I thought about this video. I just wanted to kind of have it as like an introduction. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.